Alright, so I visited my girlfriend yesterday, and I was looking forward to it. I had a great time, but she, unfortunately, is going through a lot. She's been suffering from depression and anxiety because she's stuck at a job she hates, which we will change soon in the next 2 weeks, but she also has many other problems that are very complex, and I don't know. I have a few ideas of how to help her, but I would like to discuss it with my best friend Joe, who's very spiritually developed. He is very wise. Like he's studied. He's very spiritually developed, very wise in his own ways, and he's studied Buddhist philosophy. He's done psychedelics to deepen his understanding of the universe and human nature and himself. And he's worked through many of his problems, and he has his own very unique worldview that I always gain profound insights from. It's a sort of relationship that philosophers in Greece used to have, or philosophers during the Enlightenment period used to have, where they, you know, and the Enlightenment, during the Enlightenment, philosophers would meet up at coffee shops and have these 5 hour long conversations. And me and Joe typically have 3 hour conversations discussing everything from the nature of death and our perspectives on it, and why we should not fear death, to finding meaning in life, to mindfulness, living in the moment, and I'm going to record a conversation with him soon, and I'm going to start podcasting, having interviews with other people via Skype, so that should be interesting. Regardless, so hopefully I can also talk to my therapist, with whom I have a great friendship, in addition to a teaching relationship, where she teaches me various coping mechanisms, ways to be healthier physically and mentally, and she provides me advice on things. She's not your typical therapist. She will have very normal conversations with me, typical conversations you would have with a close friend, because I told her in the beginning that I didn't want to have a typical therapeutic relationship. I want her to give me her true opinions, and she shouldn't be afraid to do that, because I will take them with a grain of salt. I listen to various people's opinions. I find it very necessary for wisdom to consult with numerous different people about difficulties in life, and you really need that support network emotionally, for problem solving and for various other reasons. Your support system is essential for your longevity, for your physical and mental health. They've done studies, and they've found that not having any sort of close relationships with anyone is worse than smoking 2 packs of cigarettes a day or drinking a liter of vodka a day. That loneliness is completely artificial for human beings, because we evolved for millions of years in tribes, and the reason we fear rejection so much is because if we were excommunicated from our tribe, we were going to die. So that's why many of us have such a strong fear of rejection, and will go out of our way and bend over backwards to please other people. And people with more leadership capabilities are higher in assertiveness, higher in what's called trait disagreeableness in the Big Five personality paradigm, which is the only paradigm based purely on statistical data, not any theoretical framework. And that's allowed it to have a very high predictive value in regards to the outcomes people have in life. Like if you test a child's Big Five personality, you use a Big Five personality test when they're a child, you can predict a great deal about how their life will turn out in the future. And you can also tell them like what type of jobs they'd be best at. For example, people high in agreeableness, that is compassion and the tendency to agree with other people, to simplify it, are better at being managers. They're more capable of firing people, whereas people who are high in agreeableness make better therapists and teachers. But they tend to not have assertiveness. People are very high in openness, very high in agreeableness, tend to need assertiveness training, because they won't speak out for their own needs, and will often put other people in front of, bend over backwards for other people, so much that it actually wreaks havoc on their own health and well-being, because they put themselves at the lowest rung of priority within their social system. So anyway, today I'm doing a lot of work around the house. Should get done by 2 or 3, and hopefully I'll have enough energy to work on some creative projects, make some more videos, and hopefully I can figure out how I can help my girlfriend to the best of my ability. Luckily enough, it's been 2 years and I'm still in love with her, and I still derive such profound enjoyment from hanging out with her. Like, she's also like a best friend for me. Like, even if she was an attractive female, I would still want to talk to her all the time because she's very intelligent. She's very high in openness. There's openness to new ideas and experiences, which is also part of the Big Five. And so she's very open-minded, and we can have very profound discussions regarding any number of topics. And so she's also a beautiful person on the inside, and she loves people too much for her own good, but she has a loving heart, and she's a very good person. And I just wish I could help her become a little bit more assertive. And I think she would really benefit from assertiveness training if she would be more open to therapy at this point. But she was in the past, but at this point, she's kind of wants to give up on everything because things are going so bad for her. So I think being there for her last night and just listening and doing my best to reassure her that I'd always be there for her, that I love her, that I want to marry her, that I want to have kids with her one day, that I'm going to do to the best of my ability, do everything I can for her, really helped cheer her up and helped improve her resiliency. And she was happy for the first time in a while when I came over because I've been so busy with work, I haven't had the opportunity to hang out with her. But I'm going to make sure I hang out with her at least once a week from now on. Knowing her day, she's also very busy with work, so it's hard to get our schedules together. So I asked for Friday off this week, so because she has Friday off on her schedule, so that we can spend the day together. I can go over Thursday night, spend the night over there, and spend all day with her Friday. And yeah, I'd like to show her some things that helped me in terms of stuff from Dr. Albert Ellis, Rational Emotive Behavioral Therapy, which was the first form of cognitive behavioral therapy, which allowed me to overcome my social anxiety. In the past, I couldn't even look people in the eyes without tearing up. I was so afraid of other people because I had been rejected as a child by numerous people, and also didn't have any friends until 7th grade, when I became extremely rebellious and developed an anti-authority complex, I suppose, where I challenged people's authority, and for good reason. The first time, the triggering event, which I discussed in a previous video, where I got tested in 7th grade, and the psychiatrist found, because I wasn't paying attention in class, even though I got straight A's in 5th and 6th grade, I was doing poorly in 7th grade, and they tested me and found out I was reading and writing at a college level and I had an IQ of 129. And you would think, oh, well, this kid needs to attend a gifted program. He needs to maybe take some community college courses during the summer because he has the capability to succeed in college courses. He got straight A's in 5th and 6th grade, so it's not an issue with his ability to pay attention. He's simply bored in class and needs some more challenging material. No, the psychiatrist said, here, take Ritalin. And when I said there's no longitudinal studies on the effects of amphetamine, especially giving it to a child whose brain's still developing, I thought was very unwise, he got very angry at me for challenging his authority. I wasn't mean about it or saying, oh, you're wrong or anything like that. I just expressed my concern in a very agreeable way because I tried my best not to hurt people's feelings, but he still got angry at me because I questioned the wisdom of giving a 13-year-old amphetamines and having him take it for the rest of his life simply because he's not paying attention in class. And at that time I wasn't wise enough to understand that I should have attended a gifted program somewhere or started taking community college courses. I could have started college, when I was 14. Probably would have done 2 years of a gifted program, and I could have easily taken ACC courses in 7th and 8th grade and then attended a real university by the time I was ready. By the time I was, in freshman year of high school, I could have instead attended a university and done quite well and succeeded. But unfortunately, that idea didn't come to my mind or my mother's mind at the time. Though she regrets it now and I regret it now. Yeah, it's unfortunate. And anyway, so after that, I just started challenging the authorities of my teacher. In 7th grade, we only had one teacher. Well, no, we actually saw. They set up a program where we took some classes with some of the other teachers. We would cycle between the fifth, sixth, and 8th grade teachers in 7th grade, and similarly in 8th grade, they started that program in 7th grade where certain teachers who were best at a certain subject would teach the course. So it kind of was like a normal. It was almost a normal junior high. So the 3 other courses were taught by the other teachers, and I forget which classes exactly were taught by which teachers, but all the other courses were taught by the primary teacher. And I hated my 7th grade teacher, even though she was a good person. I just didn't like her personality, and I couldn't relate to her as an individual. I didn't look up to her like I looked up to my 5th grade teacher, Mrs. Grassi, or my 6th grade teacher, Mr. Beck. With my 5th grade teacher being someone I had a crush on, who I wanted to impress, so I read a great deal of books, over 60 books that year in 5th grade. And in 6th grade, I read over 70 or 80 books in order to impress Mr. Beck, who was like a father figure to me, and who I admired a great deal. He was a really cool guy. He was a former cop, and he was the mayor at the time of Lower Township, in addition to being a teacher. And he was just a very strong individual, a very classic masculine man. I don't know if that's the right terminology, I should say. Just, what would I say? What's the type? A proper man in the Aristotelian sense of having virtues like strength, courage, moral courage, being able to comprehend and reflect on very important ideas, and able to express those ideas to young students in a way they could understand it. And he was a huge influence on me for the rest of my life. So anyway, yeah, that's all for today. I know I'm just rambling in these videos, but that's the purpose of these videos. And other videos I focus on one topic, but this is just like to just sort of just go off the cuff and talk about different things I want to talk about. In the future, I'll structure the videos more into different sections based on different topics, and also include video editing and visuals in the video, so you're not looking at my stupid face the entire time. But thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, like the video, comment below. That really helped me out. And the more positive feedback I get, the more motivation I'll have, the more likely I'll succeed in life. I hope I can get a support structure online, connect with other people who have a similar passion for intellectual subjects and who are high in openness and just love discussing meaningful topics, and I can have interesting conversations with them via written emails, because I like writing, like exchanging letters, and I also like having very lengthy discussions for like 2 or 3 hours, right? Discussing dozens of different subjects. So hopefully I can find those sort of people by putting myself out there on YouTube and making videos for Facebook, Instagram, and other social media, and I suppose TikTok as well. But I'll get to that in the future. Thank you for watching. Have a great life.